Welcome back to the Artie Lange Show. The great Chris Cotton's here. Real funny comic. You plugging anything in particular, buddy?
Oh, okay, yeah. Let me do these plugs because I got people.
Yeah, man.
Who are
What do you got?
if I do these plugs. Okay, first plug. Babe Ruth Time Traveler. It's a sketch I did. I know Dave plugged it when he
did.
was
Dave Temple plugged it.
I was a star in the sketch, and Tom Casey, he was the director, and Dave Temple was also in it, and co-starred my good friend H. Foley, who was here in the studio hanging out. What's
up, brother? So it's Babe Ruth Time Traveler.
It's Babe Ruth. He played Babe Ruth. I played one of the people in it. It's good. It's a good sketch. Check it out. It's 22 minutes long. It's on YouTube. I don't know how they cleared it, but that's first thing. Let me get this out of the way. Also, I'll be at the Comedy Works, next weekend, hosting, because I'm just running through material. So I'll be there hosting, hanging out at Comedy Works in Bristol. And last but not least, the hoodie I got on, the reason why I always rep this place is that it's a good bar.
Raven Lounge?
The Raven Lounge in Philadelphia. We did a show there for 5 years straight, me and H. Foley, and a couple of our other friends who are involved with our company, Center City Comedy. And I always try to rep them as much as I can because when I was going through, the bar owner was a good friend of mine, and he did like a lot for MS and stuff. He did like the MS run. Like, I wasn't doing any of the physical things. I just found ways to make them money to raise for it. So
believe me, that's important, man. I've done a lot of charity work. They go, this, that, the other thing, research, money.
Yeah. So I did a comedy show at Helium, and we did a benefit, and they helped us out with that at Helium Comedy Club in Philly.
Helium is a good club, yeah.
Yeah. They used to love me, but I don't know what happened. But hey, that's neither here nor there. Neither
All right,
here
wait a
nor
minute.
there. See y'all later.
Welcome to the Comedy World. What about that, Mike? Any advice when a club used to have you as one of their favorites, and then they turn their back on you? Your thoughts?
Oh. Well, you know what, Chris? Just work your butt off, become a gigantic star, come back in there one day and have them kiss your butt.
Mike almost took that advice. He just became gigantic.
Yes.
Yeah, he just stopped that star.
He's going to work. He's working on the star. He became gigantic.
Chris, because success is the ultimate key to anything. You know what I mean? You can do anything.
Oh, yes.
That's right, Mike.
Amen,
honestly,
Mike.
I should probably start at getting management first. I think that's the first step.
No, Chris, they're gonna
sorry, man.
No, they'll be all over you, buddy. You're funny, man. You are.
Do you have management now?
I have nothing. I have a car that is on the
We can help you out with that. Dude, honestly, I got to tell you, you got a great look. You're a big man who could be sexy. May I say that?
Oh, thank you. You know something? I'm getting called sexy by all the wrong
Now, how about that? I know. happens to me, too. People say to me, Art, people say to me, Art, you get laid a lot from being on the Howard Stern show. I'd be like, if I was willing to have sex with plumbers, I'd be like Warren Beatty. Guys who have their own bread route every morning in Jersey City. I was like, Kanye West. But the other thing is, the set I saw you do was just killer stuff. In front of, that was what, about 1,100 hostile people at one of my gigs.
And it was clean. I don't know how they didn't notice it.
Did a good job.
No, curse fat man. That's what they wanted to say.
You did a good job, man.
But it was somebody told me to say, dude, his name's Steve Rinaldi. He's like a new comic. But you don't know him. Now, I remember he was telling me on Stern when you talked to the Make-A-Wish kid. That was his best friend. And he said to me, if you remember.
Oh, really?
He said that was his best friend. He said, and he told me to tell you he appreciated every second of that, the Make-A-Wish kid.
He was a good kid, that
he
kid.
Said, yeah, he said that changed his whole outlook on life for those last few months. He told me to tell you that.
Yeah, the kid passed, unfortunately, but he was we took him out he came on the show, and we had a blast with him on the show. He had a great sense of humor, and we took him out for a big steak at Del Fresco's. Right?
He said also,
oh, that's nice to hear, yeah.
Possibly the Scores. I think that was probably.
Well, you took him to I don't know who's listening, but yeah, we took him. Put it this way, he walked out of Scores with a big smile on his face. Oh, yeah, absolutely.
Artie Lange.
I know, Mike, you refuse that kind of work, I know, because you're busy, but...
No, I would definitely do anything to help people.
I'll go to Scores.
I'll go to Scores for anybody. That's what I'll do.
Well, that's good. So you're busy,
I mean, yeah, that's what I'm doing stuff.
Right. Let's take another phone call. Well, this seems like a political thing. Drew in Chicago. Drew, you're on the air.
Oh,
My God.
You stink, Drew.
Drew!
Artie, you there?
Yeah, what's up, buddy?
Hey, I just wanted to get your take. I'm from Chicago. We've had a little bit of gentrification over the years in like Bucktown, Wicker Park. What is your take on Spike Lee's comments this past week?
What'd he say? I don't know.
But you didn't hear about this?
I did not. Spike Lee commented on gentrification in Chicago. I don't know.
No, on the hipsters
in Brooklyn.
Brooklyn.
Oh, in Brooklyn. What did he say?
Oh, geez, I could read it to you, but I'd have to take out all the MFs and everything.
Well, he talked about gentrification. Does someone know what he said? James, what did he say?
This dude doesn't know how to summarize.
He basically said, that the charm of the neighborhoods, the Brooklyn that
Is
once
gone.
existed is gone.
Right. Because Bed-Stuy, where he did Do the Right Thing, and where Chris Rock is from, and a lot of guys, and Biggie Smalls.
And then his brownstone got vandalized. Somebody spray painted Do the Right Thing on his brownstone.
Oh, he did. Oh, there you go. I don't know. Well, listen. So I don't know. It's his experience, not mine. It sounds like gentrification can be a really good thing. Don't you spend time in Bed-Stuy?
Yes. You know what annoys me? All right, I spend time in Bed-Stuy.
What do you think about this?
I don't think it's. First of all, I love it because I can walk to my car safely. That's first thing.
Well, there you go. There's the one part.
Keep the white people coming. Because something like my dad owns his house. And at first, as a kid, you're like, yeah, they got to get out of here. But when your parent owns a house in a bad neighborhood that's turned good, and you see the property value as an adult, the sky... Get them out of here.
I got a bunch of, let me tell you something. Yeah, that's a good point. You're being honest. I got a bunch of homophobic Italian kids I grew up with. And they saw like a gay guy move into their town, a gay couple, and they're like getting upset. I'm like, dude, that's the best news ever.
Bring them
the place is
in.
going to look like Nantucket in 5 years.
They'll never have loud parties.
Right. It makes the neighborhood better.
Dogs. The only thing you got to worry about is dog poop. That's it. That's cool.
What are you thinking about, Drew? What are your thoughts on this? You sound annoyed.
No, I'm not annoyed at all, and I totally get it because I don't think the sentiment I totally respect.
For the record, Chris is an African American comic
I
from
was about
Philly.
to tell him, I'm very black.
Who plays very black? who spends time when he's from Philly and he's trying to make it here in New York and spends a lot of time in Bed-Stuy. Yeah.
I mean, and something that's really making me angry about people like Spike Lee? They complain from afar. He's sitting there. He's not living in Brooklyn anymore. If
he's living in a good part.
Yeah,
but
he rarely stays there.
He moved up to the Upper West Side, right?
So is he I think he's a Manhattan guy now, but he was living in Brooklyn for a long time. But Brooklyn Heights,
Yeah, man.
Upper West Side, right?
We got to keep our neighborhoods the way it is. Yo, where's my car at? I got to get out of here.
Listen, it's you're right. It's just a matter of safety. Bed-Stuy was getting brutal. It's like Well, Drew, go ahead. Finish your thought.
So I thought I could just read you one of the quotes that he said. I'll give you kind of the context. He said,
Sorry.
Let's see. So, have you been to Fort Greene Park in the morning? It's like a effing Westminster dog show. There's 20,000 dogs running around. Whoa. So we had to move it to Prospect Park. They're talking about a function they had to move because so many of the people who now live there do not want to deal with some of the functions that they used to have there.
Well, listen, I could going back to Chris's point, and I'll let Chris comment after this too. Would you rather have the dogs running around, Spike, or guys killing each other? There
used to be dudes on the corner doing pull-ups off a stop sign. And you're complaining about dogs. Like, I don't get. That's what I'm saying. Like, I don't.
That's intimidating when the guy's doing pull-ups.
Yo, ma. He's like, I'd rather take a dog.
That's a perfect example of something is very intimidating.
Yeah. No, the store is open. I think I'll go. No, you're going in this one.
Drew, I think Chris and I both agree with your sentiment. But
and I guess my final point on it, and like I said, I agree with his sentiment. But if you were to just not even know who he was referring to, and you didn't even know it was Spike Lee talking, and you were to substitute Mexican or Chinese or...
Oh, come on. Let's stop being speculative. It's black. Let's keep it at black. Let's not try to add other races in there.
No, well, I think he's trying... Well, what's the point you're trying to make, Drew?
Yeah, the point I'm trying to make is that I feel like that it's not something that you would be able to say about any other race.
I got to tell you, 20 years ago, that might have been the case when, there was, Al Sharpton was ruling the city with a lot of misdirected stuff, but not nowadays. He could be talking about any race and, get special treatment or whatever you want to call it. But the bottom line is, New York is the absolute best example of a melting pot. And, you know, I think his comments are misguided, but I think what you're trying to say is wrong. I think he could be talking about any race, and it would still be part of the point you're trying to make.
First of all, what people forget is Asians have moved into everywhere, and they had people didn't like it at first, but they just said, "Here's some food."
Yeah, great.
You know,
Well, Spike Lee makes that point and do the right thing. He makes that exact point with the
in
Asian
Alaska.
market.
I was just talking to somebody from Alaska today. They said Asians are in Alaska just big time. You know what I mean? Just doing it. They don't care. They just stop walking. That's where we're going to be at. You know what I mean? That's what Asians do.
It's I mean, about Chicago. Chicago's going through a nutty time now. You know, there's a lot of craziness going on there. Is that skewing your thought? You think about what's going on in Chicago?
No, and I'm not. It's Chicago is. You have neighborhoods that are butt up. I mean, Dan could tell you this. That butt up right against one another, each other. That are completely separate in terms. I mean, you know, Cabrini Green versus the Gold Coast. They butt up right.
Well,
up
Dan, I've talked to Dan about this because what I know of Chicago is doing 1 million hours of stand-up there over the years and walking around and loving it. I love the town. But Dan, you tell me a lot of the real trouble parts are real far away from like Wrigley Field.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, guys, it's problems cities have had since the beginning of cities. I understand your point, Drew. I just think it's not as true as it used to be. You know.
I hung out in the bad parts of Chicago.
Right.
Wasn't too bad.
Those are pretty bad. Well, I'll tell you, Philly, man. Philly is brutal. Some places of Philly is wow.
Well, I mean,
it's a war zone, literally.
I don't know.
West Philly and
I have the face of every drug dealer you ever met. So you know something. And I hung out. Last place I was in Pittsburgh. I was in Pittsburgh, and I just went to like the worst places, and no one even better than I am. I mean, like I didn't belong. It was just great, dude. That's the thing. I can just blend in. Like when I went to Jamaica, hey, Star, I was like, hey, what's up, man? Like, oh, he's not from here. Yeah, I got that face. I got a good old school regional black face. Like, yeah, that's what I got.
Regional black. We call it RB. Drew, thanks for the call. Call back again. We got to take a break. Thanks, brother. All right, take care. Back after these words. Welcome back to the Artie Lange Show. Chris Cotton is with us. And got a lot going. How do we find on Twitter? Is it at? Where do we get you?
At Cotton215. COTTON215.
At Cotton215. Real quick, I'm curious in this call. Marty in Indiana, you're on the air. Marty?
Yeah, hey, how's it going, Artie?
Could be a joke.
I don't know what race this dude
Could be a
is.
joke, but it says you want to talk about the passing of Tim Wilson. Can you explain that?
It was on my news channel down here. It was Wave 3 out of Louisville.
Yeah, who's Tim Wilson?
Tim Wilson, you listen to Bob and Tom, you get that up around your way?
I know who they are. I've never heard them, though, just because of, geographically. I've never heard them. I know who they are, though.
Oh, okay. Well, he adds a lot of music into his comedy. He'll come up with like, it's a great day to kick somebody's ass. I don't know if you ever heard that one, but
sounds good.
I thought he was bigger than what he was, but
yeah, no, thank you. No, I've never heard of him. God bless. We had to hang up on him. We don't have enough time.
That made me so happy.
I just listen. I hope the guy rests in peace, and I'm going to kick somebody's ass. I'm sure it was a funny one, but we don't have enough time. Tim Wilson, rest in peace, buddy. If Chris Rock dies, call us. If Chris Rock dies, tell us. Give us a call. We'll stop the show. I promise. Do you know who Tim Wilson is?
I have no idea who Tim Wilson was.
You'll find it. You meet a lot of guys. I'll tell you, I'm sure in all, we're joking around, but in all respect to Tim Wilson, I bet he's a Midwest guy who probably destroyed, who probably killed on the road and made a lot of money and was real funny. There's a lot of those guys out there who I've worked with who you can't follow them, especially guitar acts, guys who incorporate music into it. You can, a guitar act that does, I don't know if Tim was in this, but a hacky guitar act, those hacky, funny songs, the walls move. You can't follow those guys. You can't.
Yes.
Yeah, it's hard.
A few of those lurking around right now.
Well,
he had some NASCAR songs, I remember.
That's it. You hit with that crowd?
Yeah.
And it sounds like our last caller was in that crowd? Forget it. Yeah. You're making a boatload of money. You buy and sell me, that's for sure.
I'm pretty sure if I would have tried to talk to him, say, I'm not talking to you, I'm talking to Artie there. All right.
Mind your business. Yeah, did you hear about the Spike Lee comment?
Are you the same dude? Yeah, I'm
Might have
racist
been.
now.
Might have been. Joe in L.A., Joe in Los Angeles, cleaning up some calls here with the great Chris Cotton.
Artie,
What's up?
big fan.
Thank you.
Hey, anyways, quick question. We just bought tickets for your show with the Nokia on the 19th of April.
In Los Angeles?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Yes. No problem. Me and the wife, she's a big fan also. And also, I'm not too familiar with the arena. Do you know that we're in the center section, like
Jesus
3 rows back?
Christ.
I've never been to the Nokia Theater in L.A. I hear it's nice. It's new. It's part of that Oscar complex. So your seats are in the center? They sound
They
good.
sound really good.
Row C. And anyways, are you going to do any kind of book signing or meet and greet afterwards?
I don't have anything booked right now. My agents are really pushing to do a book signing at that show. So
Hey,
keep in touch with the internet. You'll see.
I'm familiar with the Nokia Center. You are smack dab in the middle.
Oh, is that right? Is
Yes.
that John?
It looks like you're
According to John.
You're in where the orchestra pit would be.
Nice.
You
John,
can
big
reach
fan.
out and touch Artie. Although
Don't do that.
I would not recommend doing that.
You might see Chris. Who knows?
You
He's been with
could.
me. You know. This is April 19th at the Nokia Center. Thank you.
Great seats.
If you see online for a book signing, please mention that you're a fan of the show.
Let Artie know. Call him and let him know.
What, ya?
I would appreciate that. That'd be great.
You got it, buddy. No problem. I appreciate you listening, and we will keep in touch. Call again before
All
the
right.
show.
Love you guys.
All right, buddy.
You know what I like about these calls? They're so edgy. That's what I like about them.
Well, some of them are. Some of them are just like, I saw that guy. He didn't say really what I want to talk about. He's like, got tickets for the show. I'm like, okay. But then I didn't realize it was going to be the seat and the row.
Yeah. Steve is edgy.
Steve, I want to meet Steve.
Steve is edgy.
If you listen, Steve, call
Please, Steve / Raul.
Yeah, it's Raul and Chicago. Now, what you say you could do? Do you have a full clean set? Like
Yes,
I do a clean hour.
Oh, this is hilarious. This is fun. I also do Christian comedy /
You do?
My dad. All right, 'cause a lot of people don't know my dad's a preacher, right?
Oh, well, you told me that.
And
Yeah.
I've been for years. I just don't curse around my dad, so I can turn it off. But on top of that, I love Jesus. So I am I'm
Hey,
not like a weird.
we all gotta
crazy
say we love
fan.
Jesus.
I mean, at least on air. You know what I mean? But
Mike, don't you love Jesus, Mike?
He's number one. Yeah.
Jesus is cool. Jesus is good people.
Well, you also love Dice, though.
No, but well, God wants us to love everybody.
Well, that's not true.
Well, you don't love Steve.
You don't like Steve, Mike.
Well, I don't. Well, whatever. God.
Turn Mike's mic off. Go ahead, back to your father's a preacher.
No, my dad's a preacher, so I do Christian comedy. So I can do an hour clean.
Really? Now, have you ever done it for the church? You ever done?
Yeah, I do a lot of Christian gigs. You believe it or not, see, they pay, and it's funny because they pay very well because nobody's funny. It's hard to find a funny dude who
Who even wants to try that?
Yeah, who can do.
But that could be a tough audience. You say the wrong
it's
thing,
great.
and you're in a hole you can't get out of.
You know what's funny? I haven't been. For some reason, I've never slipped and cursed at a church show, which
Only here.
yeah, just here. But that came out of nowhere because the name Raul just threw me off. I don't know why.
You know who else was a preacher? Cover a preacher family, Sam Kivison.
Yeah,
And you know the Bible frontwards and backwards, Kivison.
I'm not nearly as good at the Bible as him,
but could you get into the preachy thing when you perform?
It's bad because some people say you sound like your dad sometimes. I'm like,
That sounds good though. He sounds good.
I mean, he's great.
Right.
Like he's not like it's funny. He's like a broke preacher, so he's like really doing it because he loves Jesus. Like he's not like out.
Good for him.
So broke.
He's
But,
not Joel Osteen.
Yeah, he has a regular car, like the car I've been borrowing. He has his real car, and the car that's dying on me. Which
Good
I've been
for
borrowing.
him.
He's a good dude. Yeah.
Let's take a quick break so we'll have a longer last break at the end of the show here. But Chris Cotton's here again. It's at Cotton215 is the Twitter, and he got a lot going on. Again, I've seen his stand-up working with me. Hilarious. Chris Cotton, back after this. Welcome back to the Artie Lange Show. Last few minutes with the great Chris Cotton. It's at Cotton215. Yeah, we're talking more about my week out there in L.A. April 19th, I'm at the Nokia. April 18th, I'm taping Hot in Cleveland with Betty White. And Chris, you were saying that you were one of the guys who watched the last Michael J. Fox show. See, I find it hard. I find it hard because I love the guy so much. I think he was a real talent. But what did he play in that? He played a guy with
He was a news
Parkinson?
anchor. Yeah, he was a news anchor who left because he had Parkinson's. Then he retired, and then he came back because he just realized he can maintain like he is. And it was It's bad because I want to big up it like it was great, but it really was subpar. But I like Michael J. Fox.
I mean, a lot of people do, but I think he was starting to get he did another one in between that and Spin City, I think, where he gets nominated for an Emmy, and it almost seems like a pity one. Like I hate that.
Probably is. But I'm such a Michael J. Fox. My wife, she loved that show. And she didn't really care that much. It got canceled. No one really did. But she won't watch Teen Wolf. I tried it. She just
but
won't
his
do
stuff
it.
on Family Ties, he's hilarious.
I mean,
it's great sitcom.
He's good.
But and look, the guy's worth $1 billion from stuff. So he doesn't need money. Spin City, he had all like ownership in that show and the money he made from movies. But it's just I don't know. I just hate looking at him because he's such an icon.
He's great. Yeah. Back to the Future was it was the same movie 3 times. 3 different decades.
I remember that came out. I was 17 when that came out, 1985. I remember going there with my girlfriend in high school and being like, we were blown away by that. We're like, wow, look, they got it. It's the same as the 1955.
Oh, man, that was good, man.
Smoke a little of the ganja and go through that. Well, Shed, your thoughts?
I loved him. Christopher Lloyd, they were great.
Loved him. He's alive.
No, I'm saying that Fox is. I love
You don't love him now.
Between Chris's mom and this,
you're just in the wrong tense a lot of times. Yeah, he was great.
And the plural, the
You're the wrong
plural
tense,
nature of words
hospitality
eludes
tense.
him as well.
What is it?
The plural, like whether words are plural or not. Like, have you ever noticed that it's always women? Like, I need to find me a woman.
You mean Mike?
Yeah.
And this is an English major at Stanford.
Yeah.
I need to find some women.
Well, what about your tweet? Maybe Chris can shed some light on this.
Okay.
Your tweet last week where you said, how famous do I have to be for women to start tearing my clothes off?
Per woman.
Oh,
per woman.
For you?
How famous does he have to be? What fame? A lot of people, they tweeted to me. A lot of people tweeted to me that was an indirect insult to me because he sees that I have a good-looking fiance, and you're saying, "Look, this fat ass has got it. How famous do I have to be?"
No,
that's what a lot of people tweeted
I can
at
tell
me.
you how famous you need to be. First of all, you don't need to be that famous. You just need a suit made of money. That's all you need.
Oh yeah.
Right. Money comes before fame.
Yeah, they don't care how famous.
Most smart hookers will go for the non-fame. Actually. You don't
go,
want
Mike.
the fame. I know you say you equate the fame with the money, but it's more fun. I think a true success is money without the fame.
I agree.
Yeah, that's true. You don't have to be famous. Yeah.
Abby Jacobson and Elaine Glazer. Thanks so much, Elena Glazer. Abby Jacob. I'm sorry, Mike. Were you making a point?
No, go ahead.
Well,
try,
do you
though.
want to be rich or famous? What would you rather be?
Rich, for sure. Filthy rich.
Abby Jacobson and Alana Glazer, thank you so much. Ben Mankiewicz, great job as always. Chris Cotton, good job, buddy.
Thank you, sir.
At Cotton 215, come back anytime, brother. And,
I'll be back. Using this bag because the more you open the door, the more I'm gonna creep in on
I
the
hear
weird
ya.
days.
We're gonna moisten up the door and get you in. The Artie Lange.
The Artie Lange Show, weeknights on Audience, only on DirecTV.